Hello and welcome back to Fallout New Vegas Challenge of Challenges. I'm Pete, and I've actually rolled the challenge a few times for this episode. The first one that came up was one that I can't actually do because I don't own any pajamas yet, and the second one that came up would be trivially easy at this stage of the game. So I've decided to accept the third one, which is no two-handed weapons. So in this episode, I'm not allowed to use two-handed weapons at all. Shouldn't be a problem. Right, so for this episode, I think it is time to make some serious inroads towards Vegas. We've got a fast travel point here up at the 188, so Vegas is just here. I want to see if I can make some progress on Raul's companion quest. So to do Raul's companion quest, we need to talk to 3 different people, one of whom is right here in Novac. Not Cliff, but Cliff? Ranger Andy. Here's Ranger Andy himself.
We haven't met yet. You must be new in town. I'm Andy.
What do you do here, Andy?
Right now, a whole lot of sitting on my keister and counting cracks in the ceiling. I wouldn't wish it on anybody. On better days, I help keep the peace. Boone and Vargas watch the road. I watch the town. Tell myself I'm doing some good.
You're with the NCR, right?
Was with them. That was back when my arm and leg used to work better. I still like to pretend I'm a ranger, though. I'll check in with the guys up at the station pretty regular on the ham radio. Sometimes they stop by, tell me they're paying their respects, the smug bastards. They haven't been responding to me last couple days. I guess they got tired of hearing me talk, but it still got me a little worried. Hell, listen to me talk, like some damn mother hen.
Would you feel better if I checked on your NCR friends for you?
No. They're gonna think I'm having trouble letting go. They're good soldiers. I don't give them enough credit.
Tell me about the Rangers.
They're the NCR's finest. A one-man platoon, each of them. You got a job where even thinking about it would scare a man senseless? That's when you bring in the Rangers. And if you see a squad of veterans, guys who are in their black armor, well, you won't find a more beautiful sight.
Did you do something to your leg?
Yeah, twice. Actually, the first time it was more like half my body. Knocked me out of the Rangers. This time, it's mostly just reminded me how useless I've gotten.
What happened?
A few years back, we get a tip that some Legion slavers were holed up in this burnt-out house a few clicks from where we were stationed. We get there and it's deserted. No sign anyone's been there. I mean, nothing. As we're leaving, I hear something behind me. I turn around and there's this kid, just skin and bone, and he's looking up at us and he's scared half to death. Been hiding in a closet.
What did you do?
I go to grab him out of there and I notice he's holding something in his hand. Something metal. He shuts himself back in the closet, and that's when I see the grenade he's left by my feet. They do it a lot, the Legion, using kids. They know we'll hesitate. Anyway, that was the first time. Second time, I fell down those stairs in front of the motel, just in case I got to thinking I'd put it all behind me.
Your body is injured, not your mind. You're kidding yourself if you think you're useless.
People don't exactly line up to find out what's in my head. Can't remember the last time someone suggested I knew something worth knowing. You know, maybe there's something I can do for you. Since you've gone to all the trouble of flattering a crippled old soldier, there's a move we have in the Rangers for knocking an opponent off his feet. Saved my butt a bunch of times, maybe it will for you too. Let me show you how it's done.
I've learned the Ranger Takedown special move. To use this technique, initiate a power attack while moving backwards. You'll drop your opponent to the ground. Don't think I've ever used that. Don't think I ever will. All right, Raul, do you have anything to say now?
What can I do for you, boss?
Nothing else right now.
Sure, boss.
So it was my understanding that Raul would start talking. While Ranger Andy's over there, I'm just going to...
My creaky knees give us away.
I wanted to steal your medicine book, Ranger Andy. Got it. Talk to Ranger Andy some more.
You'll get the hang of that takedown. I had trouble learning it at first, too.
I'm just going to go through the dialogue tree again, just check to see if there's anything else I missed. Okay, I wonder if I need to actually do the quest to check on Ranger Station Charlie before it triggers Raul's next bit of dialogue.
What can I do for you, boss?
Tell me about yourself.
Sure, boss. What do you want to know?
How old are you?
Old enough to know better, boss. Old enough to know better.
Well, all right. That's all I wanted to know. Let's talk more later.
Anything you say, boss.
Okay. Let's step outside, see if that makes a difference. There we go.
Hey, boss. Can I ask you something?
Sure, what's on your mind?
What do you think of guys like Ranger Andy?
He seems like a decent guy.
That wasn't what I meant, really. I mean, guys who have a world of experience doing what they do, but have to give it up because they're getting old and slow or too injured.
Lots of options here to look at. I'm going to go with this one. Just because someone's crippled doesn't mean they're useless. All that experience is invaluable.
Yeah, I suppose you could still teach. Take a less active role in the world. That's not so bad.
Is that what you did?
Would it surprise you to know that I used to be a gunslinging adventurer? I grew up in a place called Hidalgo Ranch, just outside Mexico City. It wasn't much, just a bit of a farm, with a house for 3 generations of tejadas. I wasn't the best behaved kid. I was quick with my hands, with a pistol or a wrench, and I wasn't afraid to get into fights over it. I never killed anybody, but I had my share of run-ins with the police. Mostly my family kept me in line. This was before the war. We were far enough away from Mexico City when the bombs fell that we missed the worst of it. But things got bad quick.
Go on.
Just a few days after Mexico City was vaporized, refugees started pouring down the road to our ranch. We helped who we could, but there were so many. Eventually, my father started turning people away before we ran out of food. Things got violent. My father and I got our guns, and we drove them off.
What happened then?
About 24 men came back in the night after we'd gone to sleep. They set fire to the ranch house and barred the doors from the outside. My whole family was trapped inside. I smelt the smoke, and I got myself and my little sister Rafaela out through a window. But everyone else, my parents, my grandmother, my 2 brothers, and 2 of my sisters, all died.
What happened then?
Rafaela and I ran. We were pursued by some of the men who attacked our home, but I was always a good shot. The ones who came after us, I killed. The rest, I left be. I had to take care of Rafaela, not throw my life away on revenge.
You can't think it was your fault. No one could stand against a dozen armed men all alone.
I know that, boss. That's not what I'm getting at. I'm just getting sentimental in my old age. Anyways, forget it. Just wanted that off my chest.
Cheers, Raul. Okay, so there's 2 more people we need to speak to proceed with this companion quest. One of them is in Camp McCarran, which is sort of just over here. Before we head on over there, I will just quickly consume that DC Journal of Internal Medicine. I know consume is a strange verb to use when talking about a book, but what can we say? Weapon, I should also make sure that I don't have a 2-handed gun. That gun is probably a better choice for what to be carrying with me. Don't want to accidentally use a 2-handed gun. Right, so step 1, let's fast travel over to the 188 trading post. That's our closest waypoint to Camp McCarran. And then from there, we travel cross-country. Shouldn't be too many enemies. How are we doing for caps at the moment? 179. Okay, I was wondering whether this would be a good opportunity to stock up on ammo, but no, maybe not.
Morning.
Hello, Ezekiel.
Wish the followers would get me some better armor.
So this is the deserted shack. Not much going on here. There is a radio I can turn off because I hate music. Anything good in the background here? We'll take the wrench and the Wonder Glue. Quite a few cans as well, if you like cans. If you can stand them. So yeah, as I say, this is a strange kind of semi-featureless part of the game world. There are a few locations here, but not much to fight, not much to do. Might as well pick up the fast travel locations, just get the XP. There are a few red marks over there, but I think that's just bighorners. They're not actually going to give me any trouble. This is the Grub and Gulp rest stop where I could buy some food if I wanted.
Welcome to the Grub and Gulp.
Show me what you have for sale.
Sure thing. Anything else I can do for you?
No, I don't want any of this. It's all rubbish. Goodbye.
See you later.
What about you, Loopy?
You need water? I got water. Clean and fresh. Straight from Lake Mead. If you're low on caps, I've also got slightly irradiated wasteland water. A little fallout never killed anybody.
Are there many water merchants around here?
There's a few independent ones like me, but it's mostly the big trading outfits that deal in water, like the Crimson Caravan Company.
I have some general questions for you.
Shoot.
Know where I can find a doctor?
I'm pretty sure they've got a doc over at Camp McCarran, but I don't know if he'll treat just anybody.
All right. Do you get a lot of customers?
The caravans or NCR patrols usually don't stop, but we usually get people like yourself wandering on by a few times a week.
Who sells equipment around here?
The Crimson Caravan Company's the big dog around here. Keep following the road north, and you'll eventually come across their camp.
All right, that's all I want to know right now.
All right.
Goodbye.
Until next time.
One of the things I do really appreciate about this game is how you can be out in the middle of the desert just talking to some random person who doesn't really have much significance in terms of the plot or anything else. But you know, they've got a few things to say. There's a few dialogues that you can engage them in. It gives the whole world a little bit more detail. Right, I want to go into Camp McCarran, which is over there. Can I get through here? I think I can. I hope I can. I seem to have lost Eddie. Don't know when that happened. What does the world map say? Eddie's not too far back. Yeah, just coming around that corner now. He'll be fine. I'll leave him to his own devices. I think we have a travelling merchant here. Yeah, Crimson Caravan Trader.
Caravan's the biggest merchant outfit in the wasteland. Mormon Caravan.
Okay, you're not actually selling anything to me today. Fine, be like that. So Corporal Sterling is the next person who can trigger some of Raul's companion quest dialogue. They are normally somewhere around this tent here. Let's have a look. Here we go.
The Mojave almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter.
I've heard that.
Howdy. Name's Sterling, 1st Recon. Can't say I've seen you before. I'd remember if I had.
You remember everyone who passes through here?
Got a good memory for faces, landmarks and such too. Comes with practice, that's all, and a lot of scouting from place to place.
Interesting rifle you have there. Lever action, right?
I call her the Long Carabine. Didn't always have the scope. I added that myself. Been shooting with her so long, couldn't bring myself to toss her away. Would have felt guilty to part with the old girl. The other snipers used bolt action, but Gore Betts reckoned it didn't matter none if I was different, so long as I could hit my targets.
Have you always been with the 1st Recon?
Used to be a ranger, one of the first they sent out east back before we took the dam. Observation and reconnaissance. We took the lay of the land, checked out the locals, and kept ourselves inconspicuous. A couple friends of mine were the first to scout the dam. That was back in '73, if I recall. A lot of those rangers are dead now. Vegas always chewed men up. It's just a little more literal nowadays.
Why did you leave the Rangers?
Well, that wasn't really a matter of choice. Got myself caught by legionaries up near Malpay. They had themselves some fun with me. Mangled my hands and feet pretty good. Wasn't much good with the pistol after that. Wasn't gonna be trekking across the waste on any more long scouts either.
How did you manage to escape Malpay?
Caesar's boys figured I wasn't going anywhere after what they'd done to me. So they didn't bother tying me up. I crawled out of there on my elbows and knees. Must have looked a sight. Then I rolled down an embankment into the Colorado. Guess I had a mind to drown rather than give Caesar's boys the satisfaction of killing me. But a couple rangers happened to be watching from across the river. They jumped on in and pulled me out of there. Lucky break, they said.
Wow, that's a pretty impressive story. This man's made of tough stuff. How long have you been stationed here?
Going on 6 months now, but I reckon we'll be moving out soon enough. Can't talk about the details. Till then, we'll man the towers and keep an eye on the fiends. We've had more than our share of trouble from their direction. Whole thing smells of Caesar to me. Of course, that's just guesswork. But I'd still bet a few caps he's stirring up the locals against us.
All right, goodbye.
Always a pleasure. Keep yourself safe.
Raul, anything to say? I wonder if Raul's going to wait until we've left the area. Right, before we do leave the area, there is a free sniper rifle available just up here. Ta-da. Let's see what condition that's in. That is not in terribly good condition, but, you know, fixing it up is potentially in our future. So we'll hold on to that. Is there anything else we can take?
Got a second to talk, boss?
Here we go. Sure, what's on your mind?
Meeting Corporal Sterling, well, it kind of got me thinking. Here's a guy that's been beat all to hell, right? I mean, he could have retired from the service, but instead he signs back on and does what he can. You think he did the right thing?
Again, a few options to choose from. We can say, I think it's good that he's so devoted to his duty. More people should act that way. Or, the NCR put a lot of time and money into his training. He owes it to them to use it however he can. Or, it might seem harsh, but a soldier can't do his job properly with those limitations. Or, with those injuries, he's nothing but a drain on resources. He should retire. I feel like, yeah, number 3, it might seem harsh, but a soldier can't do his job properly with those limitations.
You're preaching to the choir here, boss. Once a man's prime is behind him, he should let it go.
Sounds like maybe you're talking about yourself there, Raul.
It's a question I've asked myself often enough. After the fire, I knew my sister and I couldn't stay at Hidalgo Ranch anymore. The refugees still wanted me dead. They even put a bounty on me. I remember how scared Rafaela was. I told her if she came with me, we'd see the vaqueros. She used to love the rodeo, especially the trick riders. We figured maybe we could find help in Mexico City. We were young. We didn't know what had happened, really. We didn't understand about the bombs.
Wasn't Mexico City basically annihilated in the Great War?
I don't think it was as hard hit as D.C. or Bakersfield, but it was bad enough. By the time we got there, the city was a radioactive ruin. Still, the city was full of looters, already forming into the beginnings of raider tribes. Crime was bad before the war, but now it was a nightmare. We were living like scavengers, scraping by on what little food we could find, always looking for medicine for my burns. And then, of course, the radiation started to kick in, turning me into this handsome devil you see before you.
Sounds pretty bad.
You're a poet of understatement, boss. But there were moments it was almost worth it. I still remember finding that novelty costume shop. I was just looking around for something I could slice up to wrap my burns when I saw the vaquero outfit hanging on the rack like it hadn't been touched. I took it, not like anybody else needed it, you know, and wore it back to our camp. Rafaela laughed, for the first time since the bombs had fallen.
Wasn't it dangerous to be dressed so noticeably?
It was. I started to build up a legend. Sometimes it headed off trouble, but most of the times it just started more. Young punks looking to prove themselves would come looking for me, but my eyes were sharp and my guns were quick. For a while, it seemed like we might even survive there, until Rafaela.
Oh no. Go on, what happened to Rafaela? This is going to be tragic, isn't it?
She went out to find some food one day. I was sick, so I stayed at our camp. I guess it must have been the beginning of radiation poisoning. Anyway, it was supposed to be safe, but some raiders happened to pass through where she was scavenging. I won't speak of what they did to her. When I found her body, the only way to recognize her was this funny little scar on her knee from when she was a little girl.
That's terrible, Raul.
Terrible doesn't begin to cover it, boss. I led my whole family down. First the ranch, now Rafaela. I was the last Tejada. I guess maybe I went a little crazy then. I took my guns and went back to that market. I didn't have many bullets, but I had enough. After the raiders were dead, I salvaged what I could from the store. I was tired. I just wanted to be alone forever.
That's heartbreaking. So what did you do?
I left Mexico City behind. I made my way out to the Gulf Coast. Eventually, I found an old Petro Chico refinery nobody had claimed. I stayed there for a little while, and I thought a lot about my life. I thought about the guns I'd lived by and what they'd gotten me. I decided my guns hadn't gotten me anything, and it was time to give it up. I took off the old vaquero outfit and put on a Petro Chico jumpsuit. The name tag said Miguel, so I started using the name myself. Eventually, I made it to Arizona. That's another story, boss.
Mojave almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter.
Raul's story is just absolutely jaw-dropping. I love it. As I've mentioned before, this is the first time I've played through his companion quest, so I'm kind of experiencing this for the first time. He made mention of a couple of different jumpsuits there. So at the end of his companion quest, you can basically choose one of two companion perks, whether he'll be more effective in combat, i.e. more damage output, or to reduce the amount of wear that is done on your weapons. And I haven't yet decided which of those I'm going to go for. I'm going to kind of wait and see what takes me in the moment. Right, so there is a third and final person that we need to talk to for Raul's companion quest, and that is Loyal up at the Boomer's place. So I'm going to set my marker up there, and I'm going to start running off in that direction. Yes, indeed, I am going to the Boomers this episode, I think. Passing through the NCR Sharecropper Farms. Again, I think there is actually a skill book in one of these buildings. Let's just drop in while we're passing through. See if I can find it. I think it's one of these over in this corner. Let's try it out. Okay, so we could probably do with a bit of light. And I feel like it's on a desk. Ah, here it is. Okay. No one sees us. Book is ours. Let's read the book this time instead of eating it. And yeah, I don't need to steal stuff from a first aid box. I think in terms of aid stuff, we're doing absolutely fine at the moment. Let's make sure our light is off. And let's continue on our way towards the waypoint. I think there's a gate here we can get out. Hello, Private Ortega. I'm going to talk to you while we're passing.
Is there something I can do for you?
What do you do around here?
I'm a private in the NCR Army, and I've been proudly serving for 2 years now. Although if you were to ask what I'm doing right this instant, I'm patrolling the farms. It's a safe post, but a little boring. I do get to take shots at marauding mole rats every once in a while, and that's always fun.
Are there more dangerous posts?
Oh, you'd better believe it. I feel sorry for the troops who are charged with keeping the fiends from overrunning everything. The fiends are scary because they're unpredictable. One day, they'll be taking pot shots at you and then running off before you can shoot back. And the next day, they'll come rushing at you pumped full of drugs and not stopping until you or they are dead.
If the fiends are so dangerous, why hasn't the NCR wiped them out?
Current orders are to hold the line and nothing more. That's all we seem to do these days. Hold the line. I guess it's a tricky situation since there's a vault in fiend territory. If the NCR went after them, they'd just hole up.
I could use some directions.
I'll help you if I can. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for work.
Well, I know Major Daughtry is offering bounties on some of the fiends. That's the gang that controls the southeast part of the city.
Southwest, surely.
You can find the Major at the camp just outside of the old airport.
All right. I'm looking to buy and sell things. She's going to tell me about the Crimson Caravan Company.
North of here. They have just about everything you need. But if you're in the market for guns, go see the gun runners. They're expensive, but they have stuff no one else carries.
Cool. Goodbye.
Bye.
And again, some map markers have been put on, pointing me towards Crimson Caravan Company and the gun runners and Vault 3 over in Fiend territory, of course. None of that I care about right at this particular moment. But it is nice how by wandering around and talking to people, you get signposted towards all the various interesting things. All right, I think over here is Durable Dunn's Sacked Caravan, which is an opportunity to pick up some combat armor. I think it's this bridge over here. There might potentially be some geckos in the vicinity here. Oh, there we go. That's where we want to be going towards. So yeah, there's a few piles of loot around here and some corpses. So we will take basically everything off of this person. And everything off of this person. And everything from this pile. And everything from this pile. And everything off of this person. And I think there's also a Brahmin down here that might have some loot on it. Not much. There's another ash pile here. A few caps in it. And yeah, I'm seeing some red marks over there. That's the geckos that I mentioned. Right, I think I have checked everything that's in this area. So yeah, that got me some combat armor. 2 suits of black combat armor, each worth about 3,000 caps, which is pretty nice, isn't it? Do I see another... I think I might see another corpse up here as well. Yeah, a few caps in there, lovely. And one rotting Brahmin corpse, yummy. So yeah, the geckos that are over there aren't giving us any trouble at the moment. Now, there is a building up in the northeast corner of Vegas that I want to head to. Is it this one over here? Or is it further north? You know it because there's traps outside the door. It's this one up here, that's right. One thing I'm just going to do is change my apparel. I've been wandering around in the Merc Adventure outfit because it looks cool. I'm going to switch back to the lightweight leather armor just in case there is something I need to fight. So, is this the trapped house? It certainly is. Okay, so... Uh-oh. Oh, that could have gone a lot worse. Raul took a tiny bit of damage there, but it's good. Okay. So, are there more traps in here? Not seeing anything. I should probably drop a quick save just in case. Oh, there's a tripwire back there. Let's try and deactivate that. Job done. Now I can take the grenades that were up there. That's some free grenades for me. This is a hard locked door, so in order to get into that I am going to need to take a Fixing Things magazine. Yeah, no problem. Oh, not Fixing Things. Locksmith Reader, that's the one. Only got one of those. But that's fine. I think what's in here is worth it. Will take me a couple of bobby pins to get in there. This is a tougher lock than any we've tried to do before. We're in. Okay, not seeing a trap in here. Okay, so there's a doctor's bag. Another doctor's bag along with some other stuff in there. Some rad meds. A Patriot's Cookbook, True Police Stories, lovely. Don't know why I'm taking turpentine. And then on the shelf, another sniper rifle and some ammo for it. I think this sniper rifle is better than the one we picked up a little... Why is it not showing up in there? This is weird. Sometimes the weapons list in here isn't complete. Yeah, this sniper rifle's in much better condition. So I'll probably repair those two together. That's going to be a really nice... Yeah, I don't want it right now. I'm not allowed to use two-handed weapons today. I am over-encumbered. Raul, I'm going to need some help.
I'm sure you'll be fair and equitable, boss.
You can... What can you carry? I'll give you some plasma rifles. Don't know why I was carrying all those plasma rifles. Clearly, I did not sort out my inventory at the end of the previous episode. There you go, that'll do for now. So, I will just have a quick check upstairs. I'm going to go into sneak just in case there's more traps up here. Seems to be all good. And there's no more loot in here. Can we go out the back? We can. Lovely. All right, let's continue heading on towards the Boomer territory. Basically want to head over towards a little shack over in that corner. There are some deranged Brahmin over there, but don't need to interact with those. Raul's struggling to keep up. But, you know, he is an old man. I'm just quickly going to pop into this shack because I think there's a decent piece of loot in there. A BB gun, if memory serves. Right, what have we got in here? Bit of 5.56, lovely. Yes, the Abilene Kid LE BB gun. I know you'd think a BB gun isn't up to much, but this one's actually got a crazy crit multiplier. And you can actually get a fairly decent build out of it. I'm going to take the teddy bears just because, you know, I like toys, maybe? Don't know. Right, I think that's everything in here. Let's head on back out. You two are going to want to stay here for the next bit. No, I didn't mean to do that. Log off. Raul, I need to... There you are.
Okay, boss. I'll just wait here alone.
Yep, you two stay there by the shack. I'm going to talk to this person.
Whoa there, pal. You better slow down, or you'll get blown up like the rest of the idiots who thought they'd scavenge in Boomer territory. Now that I've got your attention, might you be interested in a little information? It'll cost you, but it's well worth the investment.
You can tell me, or you can tell the underside of my boot. No, thanks for the warning. What's going on past those signs?
Oh, lordy, lordy. You haven't heard of the Boomers? What rock have you been living under? They're a bunch of artillery-slinging, grenade-lobbing odd jobs camping out in Nellis. Wander into their territory and you're as good as mincemeat.
Is there a way to get past?
There is a way, and I'll tell you. For a little wager.
Wager? Let's hear it.
Well, I know the secret to get past. If you give me the caps, I'll tell you. If you make it back alive, I'll double your money.
Okay, I don't have enough barter to bring that down, but actually, because he's going to double the money, we should actually pay as much as possible. 300 caps, you've got yourself a bet.
Okay, here you go. That page has the details, but it's all in the timing as you move from building to building. I'll be here watching, so I'll know if you've made it to the gate or not. Remember, there's 600 caps in it if you make it.
Thank you very much. Definitely drop in a quick save. So, I haven't tried doing this since I had the sprint mod. I feel like the sprint mod is probably going to make this easier. But, let's find out. So, I'm just going to run up here until I start to hear the bombs come, and then I'm just going to sprint. The trick here is stay close to the left wall. Okay, here they come. My AP running out, so... And sprint. There we go. Very nice. Not even sure if I took any damage there. My health meter is still looking very, very full. Okay, let's go over to the front gate and say hi and impress them with our speed. Apparently we're the first person ever to manage that, if you can believe it.
Hold it right there. Don't you move. How the hell did you survive that bombardment?
Simple enough. Run, hide, run, hide. It's all in the timing.
But I had you zeroed in the whole time. Nobody's that fast. Move a muscle now and I'll blow you to pieces.
I didn't come here to attack you.
Then just stay where you are. Raquel will be here any second.
I'll take this from here. I'm Raquel, Master-at-Arms for the Nellis homeland. Mother Pearl, our eldest, wishes to speak to you.
All right, lead the way.
Follow close and mind your behavior.
Welcome, child. Took your sweet time getting here, didn't you? I've been waiting a good 5 years for an outsider to come along and visit.
You didn't exactly roll out a red carpet.
Those howitzers of ours aren't just for entertainment, child. Explosive ordnance is what keeps the savages at a distance. Except you. There's something special about you, child, and it was the howitzers that gave you a chance to show it.
How might I be of assistance?
Oh, so many ways. Small ones to begin with, so we can get used to what it's like to have a outsider around and about. Should that go well, maybe you can help in big ways, too. We'll have to see.
How can we trust each other if you're going to be keeping secrets?
You have to keep in mind that you're our first contact with the outside world since I was barely a woman. Seclusion has kept us safe, but the world around us is changing. Neon lights in the distance, patrolling robots, soldiers. My youngers think our guns can keep out the world, but I think we need to let it in just a little, or become its victim. You're that little bit of the world, child. Welcome to Nellis.
Thank you. Where do I start?
You picked a good time to stop by, for we're swimming in problems. My youngers can tell you all about it. Raquel could use help with the bug problem. Doc Argyle has wounded he's tending to. And Loyal and Jack might be looking for help with some repairs. Or you could just go see Pete at the museum and hear the story of our people. All you have to do there is listen. Come and go as you like, help or don't help, I leave it up to you. But I hope you'll show my youngers that not every outsider needs to be blown up.
All right, I'm looking forward to this. Sounds like it's going to be fun. So what have I got in terms of fast travel? Okay, I've got that fast travel location there, but there's also another one I can pick up just around the corner here. So I'm going to grab that before I head back and pick up my companions. There we go, Nellis Hangars. All right, so let's zoom on back to Field's shack, get Eddie and Raul back.
Right behind you, boss.
Lovely. And then let's go and talk to this guy over here and get our 300 caps back, plus the additional 300 that he promised us.
Jumping Jesus on a pogo stick. You're the first one to make it through alive, let alone manage a return trip.
I believe you said you would double my money.
Yep. Here are your caps.
That was 600 caps.
Sorry about that. Poor memory. Here you go.
So one of the mods I'm using gives a kind of a depth of field effect, but it's very annoying how even when I'm kind of right up pointing at an NPC, they stay blurry and the background stays crisp. That feels wrong. I might tweak that, see if I can improve that, because I'm sort of starting to get a bit annoyed of having conversations with blurry people. Right, let's go back to Nellis Hangars and let's talk to Loyal, which I think is the final step of Raul's companion quest. He's not going to be... Raquel's in there. I think he might be in the hangar. Let's try in the hangar. I don't think I have a quest I can use to find Loyal specifically.
Hey.
Yeah, that's Loyal with white hair.
I hope Pearl knows what she's doing, letting you wander around Nellis as you please.
I'm looking for ways to make myself useful.
If that's so, how about you look into repairing the solar arrays on the roof of the generator building? Nothing too complicated about it, but it's a long ways to walk my old bones, and there's been that ant problem over near there. You can't miss the array. It's on top of the generator building smack dab in the middle of Nellis, between the two runways.
Okay. I passed through a place called Helios 1. Maybe I could find parts there.
Are you talking about that damn bright light we've seen blast off to the south occasionally? I was wondering what the hell that was. If they've got the parts, bring them on back. We need to get the array back up and charging.
Let's talk about something else.
All right. What's on your mind?
Goodbye.
Bye.
That didn't feel like a very fruitful conversation. Can we talk to him some more?
What is it, outsider?
No, goodbye.
Goodbye.
All right, I wonder if I need to get more relationship with the boomers before I can talk to Loyal and get the dialogue, that'll unlock dialogue with Raul. Maybe. Okay, well...
That's a good
oh, no, there we go.
Boss.
What are you talking about?
That Loyal guy. He's getting up there in years, but he still finds a way to make himself useful to his people. If you ask me, that's better than withering away all alone or holding on to some faded piece of glory from your past.
Options are Loyal's using his years of knowledge to help his tribe. I think that's a noble goal. Or at least he knew when to step back and start to take it easy. A lot of people don't. Or I suppose if you're happy with that kind of life, it's not so bad. I like the top one.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
What's on your mind?
Old history, boss. I left everything when I left Mexico. My home, my family, my name, even my face. I know it's surprising, boss, but I wasn't always just handsome. As far as the world knows, I was Miguel, and I was okay with that. I headed north for a while, and ended up in Tucson. Not Tucson, by the way. Things were good there. Well, maybe not good, but better than Mexico City anyways. I found myself a little shack and started fixing things.
Fixing things?
Well, sure, boss. I was always good at fixing things. Some I fixed for the town, some I fixed for other people, some I fixed just for the hell of it. It's a better way to use your hands than killing. And even then, I wasn't getting any younger or faster. I lived there for a long time, kept to myself, didn't get into any fights. Hell, the only reason I even kept my guns oiled was professional pride.
Why aren't you still there then?
Getting there, boss. I'd been in Tucson. The locals can call it Tucson all they want, but it's Tucson, damn it. About 75 years when she showed up. Prettiest thing you ever saw, boss. Maybe it was just a trick of my senile brain, but I swear she looked just like my Rafaela. Her name was Claudia. She ended up taking work at one of the brothels in town. I never went to her, of course. How could I? But I looked after her in my own way.
What happened with her?
This was a long time ago, before Caesar's Legion pacified Arizona and brought the raider tribes to heel. A tribe came into Tucson one day. More a gang, really. Dirty Dave and his 6 brothers. They were looking for bullets, and I sold some to them. I figured if I did that, they'd leave town before they tore it up too much.
But they didn't, did they?
No, boss. No, they didn't. As I was saying, I hoped they'd leave the town in peace. Instead, they decided to stop at Claudia's brothel to take the edge off. I don't know which one of them got rowdy first, but by the time I heard the screams and got my guns, it was too late. They shot up the brothel, killed 4 girls, and taken Claudia for their sport.
Did you rescue her?
I went after Dave and his brothers. They had a head start, but they slept nights. I didn't. Took me 3 days to catch up to them. Claudia was dead when I got there. They put a bullet in each of her eyes. I couldn't do anything except avenge her, just like Rafaela. I charged into the middle of their camp and started firing. 2 of them were dead before they knew I was there. The other 5, though, they shot the shit out of me. I would have died, I think, if I wasn't so full of rage.
How did you survive?
By being a meaner old cuss than the rest of them, boss. I wanted to keep living until they weren't. So I just kept shooting until they were all dead. I was in pretty bad shape in the end, though. I don't know how long I laid there, with the sun baking me and the buzzards chomping at me. Eventually, I got the strength to start moving. Some long time after that, I managed to drag my carcass back to town.
What happened then?
When I recovered, more or less anyways, I left Tucson and headed west. I ran into Tabitha at Black Mountain, and well, the rest you know. I swore I was done with the gunslinging life. I was too old, too slow, and too beat up to protect anyone anymore. I thought I was done forever, but after traveling with you, I realized I've always had my doubts.
Doubts? About what?
About whether I'm really too old to keep living the life of a gunslinger after all. And after seeing what you go through, boss, I think I am. From now on, I'll let you deal with the fighting and stick to keeping your gear working. I don't want to slow you down more than I already do.
Okay, So, because my speech isn't high enough, yeah, if I had a lot more speech, I could switch him around to, yeah, so I'm being railroaded into that perk. I mean, what happens if I try this one?
I'm sure you've got a lot of ideas, boss, but how about you let me make this decision? Tell you what, I'll at least think about it for a while. Ask me about it again another time.
Okay, all right, so that's good. So it's not like a one chance only thing. So if I wanted to get the other perk where he has increased damage output in combat, I could do that just by taking a meeting people in a mentats and going through that speech check again. Okay, well, I don't know, you tell me what you think. Leave a comment whether you think it's more valuable to have the perk where my weapon condition deteriorates less in combat, or the perk where Raul does more damage in combat. And based on your comments, I will make the decision at the start of the next episode. Also, there's loads of stuff to do around this area, so I think in the next episode we'll probably stay here and pick up some of the various quests that are around. The challenge for this episode was no two-handed weapons, and I haven't had to shoot at anything at all. So obviously I won that easily, didn't I? No problem at all. No failure on that count. Though, I mean, maybe I should just like fire a shot in the air. There we go. So I've actually used the weapon at least. That's something. Cool. I hope you'll join me next time for more Fallout New Vegas Challenge of Challenges. As always, leave a comment if you have any ideas for additional challenges to add to the randomizer. And yeah, interested in hearing your thoughts. See you next time. Bye-bye.